What's up guys, Omega here and welcome back to GT7 for some new BOP changes that came along with update 1.44. I'm going to be going through Group 3 and Group 4 changes in this video. I'll try to break it down and make it as simple as possible to understand. First thing you need to know is that the BOP is divided into 3 categories: low, mid, and high speed BOP. And you can tell which one is being applied on the event. As you can see here on the daily races, we have Willow Springs is low speed BOP, Grand Valley is mid speed BOP, and Spa is high speed BOP. So I do actually have a list of which tracks are which in my video from the last update, although that list is slightly out of date, so just keep that in mind. But feel free to go and check that out if you want the full list. And the way I'm going to categorize the changes is into nerfs, buffs, and balances. Nerfs just means the car is most likely going to be slower. Buffed means the car is most likely going to be faster. And balance means that we have mixed figures on the spreadsheet, so it's hard to know whether or not the car is actually buffed or nerfed and whether it's been made better or worse. And the source of today's information comes from gtengine.com. There will be a link in the description if you want to check out the spreadsheets yourself. And I'm only highlighting the things that have changed. I'm not going to be covering the things that have not changed. So if I don't mention the car, it means that it had no change since the last update. And just before we get into it, if you get any value out of today's video, let me know by dropping a like on it and subscribe to the channel. I do these updates every update to keep you informed of all the changes to the cars as much as possible. So without further ado, let's jump into Group 3, starting off with the low speed BOP. And the car that has been nerfed in Group 3 low speed is the Porsche 911. It has had 5 power taken away from it, and that is the only car that's been nerfed in low speed. Moving on to the buffs, we have got the Citroen GT Citro. It's had 20 kilograms of weight taken off it. Ford GT LM test car has a mistake, I believe, 60 power given to it. I don't think that's right. Okay, I'm assuming that that's meant to be 6 power added to it. Otherwise, this car is most likely going to be severely OP, but I do not think that that is the case. And next we have the Hyundai Genesis. It's had some weight taken off it. Same with the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo and the WRX. And now moving on to the balances for the low speed, we have the Corvette, the Dodge Viper, the Ford GT 2018 model, the F-Type Jag, and the Volkswagen Beetle, all having some power taken away from them, but also receiving a little bit of a weight reduction. So hard to tell how these changes will translate onto the track. And moving on to mid-speed BOP for Group 3, we've got the nerf, which is the McLaren 650S, having some weight added to the car. And for the buffs, we have the Alfa Romeo 4C, the Chev Corvette, the Citroen GT Citro, the Ford GT LM test car. Again, I think it's safe to say we can disregard that figure. The Ford GT 2018 model, the Hyundai Genesis, the F-Type Jag, the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo, the Renault RS01, the Subaru WRX, the Toyota GR Supra, and the Volkswagen Beetle. And the balance is on the Dodge Viper for this category, having a little bit of power taken off it and also some weight taken off it. And finally, for the high speed nerfs for this one are the Lexus RCF and the McLaren 650S, both having a little bit of weight added to the cars. And then moving on for the buffs, we have got the Audi R8 Evo, the Citroen GT Citro, Dodge Viper, the Ferrari 458, the Ford GT LM test car, which has had, I assume that is meant to be 6 power added to it, the Ford GT 2018 model, the Hyundai Genesis, the F-Type Jag, the Lamborghini Huracan, the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo, the Peugeot RCZ, the Renault RS01, the Subaru WRX, all having power added to them or weight taken away from them. So all of those cars should be a little bit better performing after this latest update. There's no balances for the high speed Group 3. And as you can see, these changes have reflected on the leaderboard. We now have the Renault RS01 with the world record and filling up the leaderboard along with the Audi R8 and a few other cars scattered in between. So that's it for Group 3. Now moving on to Group 4. Starting out with the low speed BOP, we have the nerfs are the Citroen GT Citro and the Lexus RCF. And then the only other change is the Mazda Atenza, which has had a slight weight reduction. So that has been buffed. And moving on to the mid speed BOP for Group 4, the nerf is once again the Citroen GT Citro. The buffs for this one are the BMW M4, the Hyundai Genesis, the Mazda Atenza, the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo, the Subaru WRX, and the Suzuki Swift. And then the balances in this category are the Ford Mustang and the Genesis G70. And finally, for the high-speed BOP, the Citroen GT Citro has been nerfed, and the buffs are the SLS AMG, the BMW M4, the Hyundai Genesis, the Mazda Atenza, the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo, and the Subaru WRX. And the balance is the Dodge Viper, having a little bit of power given to it and a little bit of weight added to it. So there you have it. That's all of the changes. And also to Group 2, we don't have any changes, but obviously we have the new car slotting in, the Toyota GT1. Will be interesting to see how that plays out within the Group 2 category. And yeah, that's all from me today. Once again, if you did enjoy the video or you got any value out of it, let me know by dropping a like on it and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss when I drop these each update to stay up to date with what's going on with the BOP. Have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.